We're going to be making a Halloween wreath today. So I'm going to be doing the Woodland ruffle. I have my mesh cut pretty long because it's a thin mesh. So when I ruffle it up, it's full enough to where I like it. But anyway, okay, my name's Teresa again with Perfectly Imperfect Designs. I'm the owner and designer here at Perfectly Imperfect Designs. Today we're going to be making a Halloween wreath using Frankie ribbon. This will be the 2.5-inch ribbon. I'm also going to be using the 1.5-inch orange with black polka dot ribbon. The sign that I'm going to be using is here. It is in my Etsy shop. I made it, and it has Frankie on him, Halloween 2020. I'm also going to be adding some tubing that I've already made up into bunches, purple and green. I'm going to be doing the Woodland ruffle. I'm using this thin metallic pinstripe mesh. I made my rolls really big, one because I had 2 rolls, and there's nothing like having that little bit extra at the very end and you don't have anything to do with it. So these are cut at 38 inches, but by the time I get them into roll Woodland ruffles, they should look just about right, not overly large or anything. So I'm going to put you down so you can see what's going on, and hopefully you can see, because like I said, I can't tell what you guys are looking at. I'm going to be, let that come back on so I can see where you guys are looking at. I mean, so I can see what you guys can see from where you're at. Okay, I think that's good. Well, I got to get my rock out. My handy dandy rock that I set on my mesh every week. I'm going to pick the one that says Hope this time. I get these at the Dollar Tree and they make great mesh weights. So, what I'm going to do is roll my mesh like 3 times, clip it, turn it, do the same to this side, and then I'm just going to walk my fingers up the middle until I get to the other side, trying not to go veer off one way or the other. And this is a Woodland ruffle. And as you can see, it's not overly large. This mesh is just kind of thin, so I didn't want anybody to be able to see through it. So like I said, I made my ruffles at 38 inches just to be on the safe side. Tie it down in there. Stand my ruffles up next to each other. I'll be moving my frame back and forth, but I've only got so much room on here, so I'll make do with what I got. Okay. Again, I'm going to roll. You can actually roll it as many times as you want. Just depends. I mean, some people roll them really tight and then smush just a little bit together in the middle. I like to be able to see the roll and the ruffle. So that's why I do it like this. Plus, when you do it this way, you never see a raw edge. You never see a raw edge of your mesh. So, I mean, it's still going to fray, because like I've said before, you can buy the most expensive mesh in the world, and it's still going to fray. It's going to fray just as much as, I can't say just as much as an inexpensive mesh, but it's still going to fray. There's not such thing as a mesh that does not fray. Okay, I'm going to go around that bottom, or I mean the outside first. I like to get my outside done first, so I don't have to fight with the ruffles on the inside to get to the outside ties. back to what we were doing. So, I do have the sign and the ribbon in my shop for sale. I've got both of these ribbons, 5 yards of each, and the sign in my Etsy shop, so check that out if you're interested. I really like for my ruffle to be defined in the middle. Alrighty. I think this is going to be really full and really pretty. And like I said, I think this is going to be my last Halloween wreath of this season. I think I got 1 or 2 more fall wreaths, but I'm going to move on to Christmas. And when you put these ruffles down in here, you got to kind of make sure that they're in the middle and not, you know, more on one side than the other and all wonky, because that'll really show up. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a bow yet. We have to see how much, you know, what it looks like when we get everything, the ribbons and the tubing on it. Then I'm rolling it 3 times on one side, clipping it. You can roll it as many times as you want. I just choose to roll it 3 times. That way you can see the curl and the ruffle. I think this is going to look plenty full. I'm not going to be able to see that wire because I haven't even moved into the inside yet. Okay, we're going on to the inside. Okay, I got 1 more ruffle. One more ruffle and I'll be able to quit fighting with this mesh. Maybe the ribbon and everything else will stick to it too. Like I said, I got my ribbons out for a bow, but we'll just have to see how much room there is. Turn this around. Thank you all for joining me. Please sprinkle, spread the love. Straighten up my ruffle. Now when you make a woodland ruffle also, you can put it in like this with the ruffle with the curls on top, or you can put it down like this. And if you put it down like this, it gives it a whole different look. It gives it like a butterfly look. But today I decided to put my curls up because I wanted to see the curls defined more than the ruffle. I wanted to see them both, so if you put it the other way, you're only seeing the ruffles. Okay, the last one is going in. I'll go around the outside first. What I'm going to do is take my ribbons. I like for the Frankie ribbon to be on top of the 1.5, and I'll show you how that works out. Fold it in half. I crease it, lay it down, and then pull it up, and I make my ribbons have a little curve to them, kind of like a bird. Okay, the black ones are going to get the ribbon and the tubing, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the tubing bundles and do them right along with these every time I put a ribbon in. Now what I like to do, I'll turn this around and show you. I like to put the big ribbon going out, or the larger, the 2.5 inch going out, and the thinner going down. So ends up looking like this. And the purple, like I said, I'm using purple and green tubing because Frankie has on a purple coat. I've already got my little bundles made up. I'll just get some, set them over here. We just got purple and green tubing I made little bows with and tied it in the middle. Oh, that was a mistake putting those there. This wreath just loves all of them. Okay, and then I'm going to put this in here. I don't cut my ties till the very end because I never know what else I might use. And here's how it looks with the tubing and the ribbon. Hopefully you guys can see that. I can't see what you can see. Okay, so for the next one, I'm only going to be putting the tubing in it. And get my ribbons on. And I'm fairly new to doing lives. I'm going to be live on Facebook every Thursday at 7 o'clock. Yeah, I think this is going to turn out super cute. Even with the ruffles cut, the mesh cut so far, I still was worried about being able to see through it. Okay. Moving right along. And like I said, I don't know about a bow. When we get to that, we'll see. Okay, we're moving to the inside. This is 10-inch mesh. It's called Thin Stripe. It's called Metallic Thin Stripe Mesh. It's 10 inches in width. And it was super thin. So I cut it at 38 inches, which is 2 rolls. And I did that on purpose so I wouldn't have remaining mesh left over. I wanted to make sure it got used. So I cut it at 38 inches. Actually, mathematically, I could have done 40, but just to be on the safe side, I did 38, and this is what I had left. So it all worked out, yes. And I'm doing the Woodland ruffle. And I've never used mesh pieces this long before, ever. I just I didn't want any of it to go to waste. And I didn't know what it would look like if I did it any thinner. Okay, 2 more to go. Okay. So that's the wreath with all the ribbon. And I just think that's plenty of ribbon. Okay, now for the sign. As I was thinking, just right there in the middle. Middle, side. If I put it on the side, I would make a bow over here. I guess I could put it up at my top. I'm going to lift it up for a second. And then I could add a ruffle right here in the middle. I'll probably add a ruffle in the middle if I put the sign there anyway. I'll have to do it from the back, but you guys will see that. And I don't like for my sign to sink down in the middle. So since I have these 2 pieces of mesh, what I'll do is put I'll show you what I'm going to do. So, I learned this trick from Laura Jean. If you guys make wreaths, you know who Laura Jean is. Tie these together. Hopefully you can see. I'm just tying these 2 pipe cleaners together. And it keeps your sign from sinking down. Okay, there's my middle. It's a big hole in it. Okay, I'm going to take this and put it through here. Let me see how I want to do this. I'll wrap it around this crossbar. And then I twist it onto itself. That just gives my ruffle something. Well, I didn't get it around the crossbar. That gives the middle ruffles something to hang on to in the middle so that my sign doesn't sink. I'm probably only going to need one. So what I do is I just take this. I don't have to do the woodland ruffle. Tuck this under. Go up. Staying in the middle. Tucking that under. Take a pipe cleaner. Pull it up and tie it. I get it tight. That way I can take it and find that crossbar, put that right there, look on the other side of it. There's my ruffle, and tie this on. That way my sign won't sink. I mean, I don't want it hanging on somebody's door and the sign goes through the back of the wreath. So now, I've got some bulk right there for it so it doesn't get shoved through. I'll fluff all the ribbons here in a minute that I use. Okay, I use these plastic yarn needles. You can get them at any store that sells yarn. The reason why I like this is because it's plastic and it bends. And instead of going around the mesh and taking the chance of squishing stuff trying to get your sign on, you can go straight through your mesh with this. And I don't do that unless I absolutely cannot find a spot to go through or it's not going to squish anything. Which right here, it's not going to squish anything on this side. So I can bring it down there. But I have 4 ties. And sometimes when you do go through the mesh, also it like stabilizes your sign, so you don't have to worry about it falling off. Over here, I want this up here. See here, I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to poke it right through. Well, not if it's not on my needle. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. If you can't, please let me know, because of course I want you to see. Okay, I'm putting this through the mesh. Pulling that down. This one I will do the same. And again, thank you so much for joining me, y'all. Please like my page and sprinkle. I would greatly appreciate it. And like I said, I'm live every Thursday on Facebook. See, I'm already moving stuff out of the way, and I don't even have this sign down yet. Because it drives me crazy to see smashed ribbon. Alright guys, let me put you up, and I'll hold the wreath up. Hey, okay, this is the finished wreath. Hopefully you can see that. I can never see what you guys are looking at because I'm looking at like 5 minutes ago. And that's going to be it for tonight. So please don't forget to join me every Thursday night right here on my business page at 7 o'clock p.m. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.